Hello and welcome to a very special Bethel Park program today about All of Us, Pennsylvania. I'm your host, Kim Madley, and I'm most excited to bring to our local viewers some information about a fascinating research project underway in our country called All of Us Health Research Initiative. This ambitious project hopes to gather over 1 million people's health information to help with the future of our health system. I'm very happy to have some special guests with me today to help shed light on the program. Our first guest is Kirsten Carroll, and she's from the University of Pittsburgh. She works at the Clinical and Translational Science Institute. She's the Senior Research Participant Recruiter for All of Us, Pennsylvania. My second guest today is Amy Shore. She's a research coordinator with the University of Pittsburgh and been working for them for over 25 years. We're happy to have her here in the community of Bethel Park, and she is the site coordinator for All of Us Bethel Park. So let's go meet those ladies and learn more about the All of Us Pennsylvania program. Well, I'm so happy you're here today, Amy.
Thank you for inviting me.
Welcome to the Bethel Park community as well. Mm-hmm. I know you're here working every day.
Yep.
And you'll be hopefully meeting many of our residents.
We have so far. We're doing well.
Wonderful.
We're doing well.
I want to ask you, what is your impression and description of All of Us Pennsylvania?
So, All of Us Pennsylvania is part of a national study called the All of Us Research Program. Mm-hmm. The All of Us Research Program is a national effort to build a research database that is rich in diversity and health information.
Hi, my name is Steve Reese, and I'm the director of the All of Us Research Program at the University of Pittsburgh and UPMC that will be enrolling 150,000 people across central and western Pennsylvania to be part of a national study called All of Us. 1 million people from all walks of life will provide information that will be used by scientists to discover revolutionary new ways to better prevent, diagnose, and treat disease. In the future, medical care will all be based on who we are, based on our makeup, based on us as individuals, and that will result in giving us the best medical care in the world. I'm doing this for my children, for my grandchildren, and for future generations because I want them to have the best health care in the world. So I'm 1 in a million. Come out and join me too.
One of the goals of the study is to build this database with 1 million or more people from across the country. We want to get a representation of the diversity of the population of the United States.
That's quite a goal, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
And how long are you giving yourselves to get all those 1 million people?
Well, initially it was set for a 5-year study, but they are going to increase that time, especially being that we had this pause with the COVID vaccine.
Exactly.
So what we want to do is support researchers in their own research. So this is not an actual research study. This is providing tools for researchers to do their own studies so that they can better understand health conditions and diseases.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So it doesn't really focus on just one disease. It can be used, the information is going to be used to study many, many things.
Correct, correct.
That's great. And what is medical research?
So medical research is a process of learning how to better treat illnesses and diseases. Mm-hmm. So traditionally in research, how research is done now is that a researcher has to pick or choose what they want to study, and it's usually one disease or one topic. Mm-hmm. Then they have to find funding for their study, be approved for their study, Then they have to gather eligible participants. Then they have to gather all the data from those participants, do their analysis, and then present to the research and medical communities. That process can take a very long time.
I'm sure.
5, 10, sometimes longer. And with the All of Us, we will have this rich database from diverse communities that researchers can access to do their analysis. This will cut the research time almost in half. Researchers will use this database to find better diagnoses, find better treatments, and also better use of medication.
Oh, well, that is wonderful. We all want that, don't we?
Yes. Another goal of the study is to promote precision medicine. Precision medicine is looking at an individual as an individual. Today, you have, unfortunately, get diagnosed with something, you're treated the same as the other people with that condition. By using pharmacogenomics.
That's a big word.
Yes.
Pharmacogenomics.
That is under precision medicine. They can actually evaluate medications by testing your DNA against the medication to see if it will be effective for the individual. Have you ever heard of somebody that has tried a medication
and it didn't work
and
for
it
them?
Didn't work, or they had an adverse reaction. So with doing pharmacogenomics, they can tailor that medication to the person by testing it with their DNA.
Precision medicine is pretty exciting. So I know you brought some more information for our viewers.
Here is a video that talks about just how important treating people as individuals is for health and wellness.
Meet Ray. Ray lives on a farm. He loves playing kickball with his grandkids, but lately he's gotten a little slower and been visiting the doctor a lot more often. This is Kim. Kim lives in the city. She loves to exercise, cook healthy meals, and can't remember the last time she called in sick. They're both people, but not all people are the same. And yet, when we visit the doctor, our treatments don't look that different. Why is that? Because we just don't have enough information to do it better, until now. Enter All of Us, the research program based on precision medicine. Precision medicine is a revolutionary new approach to treating and preventing disease that's personalized instead of one size fits all. By gathering health data from 1 million people like Ray and Kim and Trevor and Samir, our country's best researchers will be able to develop treatments that are as unique and complex as we are. With this new information, doctors will have a better understanding of disease so they can innovate the next great breakthroughs in medicine. Once enough people join, suddenly everything changes. Information becomes clear, patterns emerge, and simple data transforms into life-saving knowledge. This means that Ray and Kim's children and their children's children can live longer, healthier lives. By becoming one of the first 1 million people to volunteer, you can help reshape the entire future of healthcare for generations to come. If we can figure out how to fly, put a man on the moon, and connect the entire world, surely we should be able to improve the future of healthcare. Not just for Ray and Kim or even you, but for all of us. Sign up at joinallofus.org. The future of health begins with you.
What is the local connection here in Bethel Park?
Yeah, so All of Us Pennsylvania is one of our consortiums for the National Institutes of Health All of Us program. All of Us is located around the entire country. And Pennsylvania was chosen specifically because of its diverse population, its lifestyles, and of course our environment. Us here in Pittsburgh, we have quite a different environment than people who may be inside of a different state. So we found that there was a lot of diverse population here. So the University of Pittsburgh was awarded this grant, right? And Pitt is a research hub. We have incredible research programs going on there, and our database was full of potential participants. And Bethel Park, let's be honest, people don't love crossing bridges or going through tunnels to get to appointments.
You're exactly right about that in Pittsburgh, Kirsten.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we have 5 static sites throughout the Pittsburgh area, and Bethel Park opened, pretty much off the bat of our program because we wanted to be able to bring the opportunity to the Bethel Park area, the South Hills area. It's a diverse population full of incredible people, and when we're looking at different backgrounds and culture, we want to make sure that people have the access here in Bethel Park to have their in-person appointment. So All of Us does have an in-person component. Most of our work is done online, but there is a small in-person appointment. And then hopefully we can retain those people to continue with our program. And so we have a clinic here in Bethel Park that they can come and enroll in.
Well, that's wonderful and good news because I do agree that people do not want to cross the bridges in Pittsburgh.
No, they don't.
And so tell me, where is the location of the Bethel Park Program Center?
Yeah, our location is on Drake Road, and it is right behind the Dunkin' Donuts. So, yes.
I know where that is.
Very convenient. It's in an office building, and my colleague Amy will tell you a little more specifically about how to get there.
Amy, I know that you work at a Bethel Park site.
Correct.
Which is great for our viewers, because they don't have to go over to the University of Pittsburgh. So why don't you tell us about the site and how long you've been there and where it's located?
We are located at 101 Drake Road, which is at the corner of Bethel Church Road and Drake Road. We sit directly behind the Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
It is in the St. Clair Commons building. We are on the 2nd floor.
So that's where, if you wanted to volunteer for the program, participants would come there to enroll?
That is correct.
Amy, I think that the name of this program, All of Us, is really so important. Okay, so tell me, when we talk about wanting to collect a diverse population, tell me what you're looking for.
Yes, that is very important that this database be full of rich diversity, because for so long there have been many groups that have been underrepresented in research. Mostly it's been performed and only white men have been interested in volunteering for research. So we want to cover everybody so that this is a diverse database. We want to cover any race, ethnicity, age is not a problem.
Just over 18.
Yeah, they just have to be 18, but there's no end. We have people in their 90s that are participating. We want people of any sexual orientation, sexual gender, education level, socioeconomic status. Those are also very important.
What about people who have some pre-existing conditions?
There is no limit on what pre-existing conditions you have. We want people that are healthy, and we want people that have underlying health issues, because that will help also in hopefully finding better treatments for diseases.
Absolutely. And getting that huge melting pot of diversity will create a very rich database.
And that is so important in research. We truly want to represent what the United States is, which is a diverse population.
So much of what we've done in medicine over the years has not really taken into account individual differences, and this is an opportunity to be part of something historic.
Most studies and most clinical trials have always been with the average white male. So as we start thinking about this in the context of building trust, I think we get back that trust by involving the community. Not saying you come to us or we'll just do things to you. We're going to do things with you and, in fact, allow that information to be accessible to you, the individual.
You're going to have some individuals that are going to say, yes, good, we're getting in on the ground level of a study. And then you're going to have those that have some trepidations about it. My thing is to bring them aboard and let them know that this is for the greater good for them. We have input, and without input, there's no buy-in. And without buy-in, there's no commitment. Without commitment, there's no success.
Tuskegee happened. We're not trying to hide that or sweep it under the rug, but communities of color will be at a disadvantage if we do not find ways to get by that, whether the focus is asthma, whether the focus is infant mortality, whether the focus is diabetes, cancer, or heart disease. Communities of color are disproportionately impacted by them.
It has always been playing catch-up to make sure that they're even getting access, much less minimum service. Low income, underserved, and people of color are oftentimes very generous in giving something if they understand it. And they always do so with the intention that knowing this is not just about me, this is not just even about my family, it is about helping the community down the road.
Being able to bring the Asian American population who is never at the table, not only to contribute to science, but to contribute to our ability to understand the nuances within those populations. I think it will provide a huge national data set so we can ask questions and make discoveries about healthcare that will better their own personal health and those of the communities that they are part of.
Diversity strengthens the science. It could bridge some civil rights issues and inequities in healthcare across all races and ethnicities and culture.
As a community of color, underrepresented, hidden, underserved, what would happen if you were not at the table? It is an issue of equity and it's an issue of justice as well.
It is important for minorities to be a part of this, or we will again be left with medications that are created for really other populations. I'm hopeful that we will be overwhelmed with folk.
The enrollment process is kind of a two-step.
Okay.
First, you have to go to www.joinallofus.org, or you can download the All of Us app. And that'll take you directly to the program where you can enroll, first doing online consents and surveys. Then you would have to make an appointment at the Bethel Park office for your place to get your physical measurements done, which is getting your height, your weight, and hip circumference. And then we would do 3 blood pressures. Okay. We would then draw your blood and collect a urine sample. And then when all that process is done, you would receive a $25 gift card. Now, we want participants to continue to participate in the study. We want to retain people. Mm-hmm. The study is slated for 10 years now. Mm-hmm. And what a participant would do at this point would just continue on doing surveys online.
Okay, so say someone didn't live in Bethel Park in 5 years, they submitted their samples here, they can still be in the program nationally.
Correct. And you don't have, we don't know at this point if there's going to be another in-clinic visit, but if there was, you could go to any of the enrollment sites. And we also do what we call our mobile service. We can go to, outside of the pandemic,
yes,
we could go to libraries, fire halls. We can bring everything.
Community centers.
Correct. So we could bring the program to people that are out of reach to a static site.
Well, hopefully after this COVID restrictions are lifted, that sounds like that would be a wonderful thing to have all of us days in different communities and get people to come and participate that way. So we want to obviously encourage our Bethel Park viewers to enroll in the program, and so they have to make an appointment is most important with you first, online or by telephone.
You can do online enrolling or scheduling, or you can call in person. We have a call center that is dedicated to informing participants about the study. Mm-hmm. That number is 412-383-2733. 37. After you would complete the consents and surveys, and the consents are very, very important. They're very informative, and there are 3 different consents. The first one is the primary consent, which is just a general overview of the program. And then we have the electronic health record consent. That is where we are asking permission to have access to their health record.
Okay.
That is so important because the more information that we have to give researchers, the better. That is a crucial part of becoming a participant. And then the third consent is what is called the genomics consent. And that is where we are asking people permission to have their DNA. DNA is a very big part of precision medicine.
Sure.
Actually, the future of medicine. Genetics is in its infancy at this point. We are learning every day about genetics. Very, very commonly known now with the COVID vaccine.
Yes.
Having DNA was the resolution to finding the vaccine. So just imagine what it could do to the future for different diseases. There could be hundreds and hundreds. It's an endless number of what
course.
the researchers can be
Yes.
doing. So the genetic part is very important.
So if I want to participate, let's go back and let's talk about the privacy
Okay.
concerns. So people want to come and volunteer, and I think I might want to participate. What kind of privacy measures do you have in place for personal information?
For personal information, the NIH and the University of Pittsburgh are very concerned about keeping people's information private because it's very important.
Absolutely.
I'm a participant. I want my information protected. So they keep all of your information in a very secure database. They de-identify your information by removing any identifiable markers, your name, your date of birth, anything like that. So when researchers access the information in the database, they can never find out who it actually belongs to. You become an ID number.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, they take security and privacy very seriously.
Very seriously. Well, I think that that's a very important point for people who want to participate, that security is a primary concern. All right, well, then my second question about what I think maybe volunteers might have a concern about is during the pandemic, what kind of, and we have to come in onto
Correct.
the site, what kind of safety precautions do you have in place regarding the COVID pandemic?
Each site has supplies. We are following all CDC and the University of Pittsburgh COVID-19 guidelines for mitigation. When you come to the Bethel Park office, you would come in and we ask you to stand in a certain place where we ask you to use hand sanitizer and take your temperature and answer questions to make sure that you have not been exposed to COVID-19.
I think folks are familiar with a lot of those procedures, so there won't be anything they haven't had to do before when they go to a
Correct.
doctor's office.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
must wear a mask.
Okay.
The staff will be wearing gloves at all times. We wear safety goggles so that you are protected. We take extra measures in our scheduling so that only one participant is seen at a time, so there won't be any more than one person in the office per visit. We have limited the number of participants coming in a day. That allows us time in between participants to do cleaning.
Okay.
So between each participant, all areas that a participant was in, because we use the restroom, the exam room, we have another room that is for computers if people needed help with getting their consents and surveys done. All of those rooms are cleaned after each participant.
That's good to know as well. I think that could be quite reassuring to people who want to volunteer.
Yeah, we take their safety very seriously.
You've read a lot about the program, and I'm intrigued. Tell us why should our viewers want to participate?
I think that's a really important question to ask. There's a lot going on right now in healthcare and medicine, and the All of Us program is aimed to help the future of our healthcare system. So we want to just make sure that everybody is represented in this program. So if you are at all interested in becoming part of the future of healthcare, we want you to join the program for your children, for your children's children, so that they can have better health care for them, so that they are not being treated the same as the person next to them, because we all are made up differently. And that's a really important part of this program. So do it for your children, do it for your grandchildren, and hopefully our healthcare will just continue to improve, especially right now with everything that we have going on with this pandemic.
Absolutely. I think that's a great motivation that just by participating, we can make a difference by changing the future of healthcare in our country.
Absolutely.
Well, please tell me, if viewers want to find out more about the All of Us program, where can they find some more information?
Yeah, so you can find more information to learn more about the program at joinallofus.org. And there you will find some frequently asked questions. You'll find more information about the program, our history, our background. And then you can also begin your enrollment on that website. You can sign up right there and start the online process, which is a very important part of this, because you're going to be asked some survey questions, and those are really important to tag along with your information. And then you can also give us a call at 412-383-2737, where one of our local Pittsburgh agents will actually answer your call. You're not calling the National Institutes of Health, you're calling us right here at Pittsburgh, and they can also answer all of your questions that you might have.
See, we're Pennsylvania. We're the farmland. Towns and the cities. The home of constant innovation. From this land came a nation's independence, and from the same land will come a healthier future. Because what flows in our veins is more than just data. It's diversity, vision, life. All of us have the power to change the world, to embrace the differences inside of us that will lead to answers for generations to come. We're asking Pennsylvania to come forward and stand on this landmark in history, to help unlock the mysteries that bring forth breakthroughs, to do what our state does best. Lead the way forward.
I want to thank my special guests, Kirsten Carroll and Amy Shore, for their time, their expertise and information today in informing all of us about the wonderful program, All of Us Pennsylvania. And we're going to be learning more from them in an upcoming episode with more details about the program as well. But in the meantime, don't forget to go on their website and learn more about the program and start your participation enrollment today. You can be part of history and the future of good health for all of us.